people that are the problem. It's more than.
What up, guys? Sorry. I am going live here on the Trickle Up. We got a couple people that are other Trickle Up co-hosts that will be joining us soon. And I just want to cover the fact that Joe Biden just went live on in Delaware, and he let me bring this up, and he had a little speech. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up. Let's go ahead and watch that speech. See what the next leader of the United States is going to say about this. Let's go ahead and bring this up. You guys, we're going to go ahead and watch it while people start trickling in. I'm going to go ahead and play this. Wait, this ain't the wrong. Wait a minute. Okay, that's the wrong one. I need a public one. Sorry, guys. I can't do anything live and crazy and get myself in trouble. And get banned on YouTube for some shit. Let's see here. Fox News, Reuters, whatever the hell. I'm trying to find the one. Shit. You know what we'll do is we're going to play the audio, but we can't show the video.
If you're an accredited investor, I have big news.
There.
In the last 12 months, I bought 5 major American brands. I bought Pure One Imports, Linens and Things, Franklin Mint, Models. I'm sure you've heard of one or all of those brands.
Ads, guys, sorry.
But more importantly than how this has benefited me.
Okay, here it goes, guys.
Now to speak to you. I initially was going to talk about the economy. All of you have been watching. I've been watching. This hour, our democracy is under unprecedented assault. Unlike anything we've seen in modern times. An assault on the citadel of liberty. Capital itself. Assault on the people's representatives. Capitol Hill Police, sworn to protect them.
What's up, guys?
And the public servants who work at the heart of our republic. An assault on the rule of law like few times we've ever seen it. Assault on most sacred of American undertakings, the doing of the people's business. Let me be very clear. The scenes of chaos at the Capitol do not reflect a true America, do not represent who we are. We're seeing are a small number of extremists dedicated to lawlessness.
I don't agree with that shit.
This is not dissent. It's disorder.
I don't agree with this
It's
small
chaos.
number of people. I don't agree with that.
Orders on sedition. And it must end now. I call on this mob to pull back and allow the work of democracy to go forward. You've heard me say before in different contexts, the words of a president matter, no matter how good or bad that president is. At their best, the words of a president can inspire. At their worst, they can incite. Therefore, I call on President Trump to go on national television now to fulfill his oath and defend the Constitution and demand an end to this siege, to storm the Capitol, to swing, to occupy offices, the floor of the United States Senate, rummaging through desks, on the Capitol, on the House of Representatives, threatening the safety of duly elected officials. It's not protest, it's insurrection.
Call it like it is. I like it.
The world's watching. Like so many other Americans, I am genuinely shocked and saddened that our nation, so long the beacon of light and hope for democracy, has come to such a dark moment. Through war and strife, America's endured much. And we will endure here, and we will prevail again, and will prevail now. The work of the moment and the work of the next 4 years must be the restoration of democracy, of decency, honor, respect, the rule of law, just plain, simple decency. The renewal of the politics. It's about solving problems, looking out for one another, not stoking the flames of hate and chaos.
Yeah, let me know what you guys think about
As I
this in
said,
the comment
America's
section about
about
this speech
honor.
here.
Decency, respect, tolerance. That's who we are. That's who we've always been. The certification of the Electoral College vote is supposed to be a sacred ritual to affirm purposes, to affirm the majesty of American democracy. But today's reminder, a painful one, that democracy is fragile. And to preserve it,
What up, Jareen?
requires people of goodwill, leaders with the courage to stand up, who are devoted not to the pursuit of power, but or the personal interest pursuits of their own selfish interest at any cost, but of the common good. Think what our children watching television is thinking. Think what the rest of the world is looking at. For nearly 2.5 centuries, we, the people, in search of a more perfect union, have kept our eyes on that common good. America is so much better than what we've seen today. Watching the scenes from the Capitol, I was reminded, as I prepared other speeches in the past, I was reminded of the words of Abraham Lincoln in his annual message to Congress, whose work has today been interrupted by chaos. Here's what Lincoln said. Message to Congress. He said, "We shall nobly save or merely lose the last best hope on earth." Went on to say, "The way is plain, peaceful, generous, just. A way which, if followed, the world will forever applaud and God must forever bless." The way is plain here too. That's who we are.
What the fuck's he talking about?
It's the way of democracy, of respect, of decency, of honor,
You've already said that, dude. Come on.
and commitment as patriots to this nation.
Say what needs to be said, Joe. Jesus Christ. We need to just call it
Notwithstanding
out
what I
like it
saw
is.
today, we're seeing today, I remain optimistic about the incredible opportunities. There has never been anything we can't do when we do it together. And this god-awful display today is bringing home to every Republican and Democrat and Independent in the nation that we must step up. This is the United States of America. There's never, ever, 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 ever been a thing we've tried to do that we've done it together. We've not been able to do it. So President Trump, step up.
There we go. That's more like it.
May God bless America. May God protect our troops and all those folks in the Capitol who are trying to preserve order. Thank you, and I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
Oh, and he apologized for keeping people waiting.
Are you concerned about your inauguration, sir?
Oh, shut up. Who gives a shit about the damn inauguration right now? That's a stupid ass question. Yeah, we need to hold people accountable. This is ridiculous. So I hate to compare it to Black Lives Matter protests, but I'm gonna compare it to any protest ever. The peaceful protesting, the right to freedom of speech, to peacefully assemble and to protest, is protected by the U.S. Constitution and the First Amendment. What it doesn't protect is violent protests. It doesn't. Well, if it's violence, it's not a protest. Then it's just terrorism. If you're storming, let me rephrase that. If you're storming the Capitol of the United States during a joint session, and you break the laws, you start damaging property to get inside, you rush the police, you overwhelm the police, that's an insurrection. That is domestic terrorism. They're trying to intimidate. And then they break into the floor. They're in Nancy Pelosi's office. They're in all these people's offices, and they're just insane. So to me, and then a lady got shot for trying to breach. That sucks, man. I really hate to hear that. No one should die over this business. This is unnecessary, and I hope that woman pulls through, and I hope she learns a lesson. Everybody around her brought her there, man, because this is not how it works. You don't get to throw a hissy fit and then storm the castle, literally. This is not a freaking movie, dumbasses. God, he's so frustrating. But yeah, I've a couple of people from the Trickle Up are going to be joining us here in a minute. I just told them I'm going live without really giving much heads up. But there's also some other things that happened earlier. The thing is with YouTube is a bitch, man. You can't play other coverages that much. I'm gonna try and go to like C-SPAN and see if they have anything, because there's some public stuff you can stream, but you can't stream other things. It's NBC, Bloomberg, Fox, C-SPAN. Oh, that's not live though. The Young Turks are live. Paget's live. David Pakman's live. Well, that doesn't really help me. Yeah, I'd like to bring on some live video, but hey, yeah, Fred, let me send you a link, Fred. Have you jump in here. Let me see what Fred thinks, if Fred's available. Okay, Fred, I just sent you a PBS. Let me see here. Yeah, because PBS, if it's publicly funded, I can live stream that, but I cannot live stream anybody else's channel. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Has been affected by this violence today.
Thank you, Rob.
So Lisa, what does that tell you? The fact that you have one of the president's supporters saying that?
You know, it tells me that that at least Representative Kelly is digging in on the same messages he's had and has spoken for years, and is not yet considering any other possibility for the state of affairs in this country. And I think that's one reason we're at this point, is because both sides, but certainly the president, has been a leader in the idea that if you think you're right, you can believe that you are right, and you can be right. And you don't need to consider arguments that undermine what you believe is the truth. And so I think, at least now, and it's still very soon, we're still in the middle of this, at least now that is one of the president's supporters who's not willing to think more broadly about the underlying causes of what happened here at the Capitol.
Which is a good reason, Lisa, to wonder how this all is going to be resolved, because you have so many people who continue to be loyal to the president, continue to stand by him, and these false allegations, the aggrievement that the president has championed for now weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's now led to what's happened today.
Right.
But you're right about Kelly Loeffler, the senator from Georgia, who's been defeated in her bid for election. Is she going to be able to stand there and object after we've seen what happened? I do have a verbatim now, Lisa, of what the president said in his video message that was tweeted out. I'm going to read this. This is from my colleague Dan Cooney at the NewsHour. He says, I know, this is directed to his supporters, I know your pain, I know your hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. This is the president speaking. It was a landslide election and everyone knows it, especially the other side, but you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. Of course, people have already been hurt. Those are my words. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, which is not true. But he says, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace, so go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel, but go home and go home in peace. So the president tweeted that about 10 minutes ago, give or take. And presumably that's being shared with his supporters. But whether that will lead them to stand down, you just heard Lisa Desjardins describing what one congressman who's a big supporter of the president is telling her. He's not standing down. He's not backing down. They are going to continue to protest the electoral vote results. They're going to continue to question. They're going to continue to believe that this election was fraudulent, that it was stolen, which is going to build, it fuels the anger and the disbelief on their part and fuels the division inside the Republican Party. My colleague was just telling me that the president's former big supporter, former White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, has been quoted as saying, or maybe has tweeted himself, to the president, you must stop this. It's gone too far. Words to that effect. So even people who are close to this president, who've worked directly with him, have been big supporters of his, many of them are now telling him he must put this to an end. Kevin McCarthy, who is the House minority leader, highest ranking Republican in the House of Representatives, very loyal to the president, has been supporting him through all these election challenges, saying to the president, you must tell these people to leave. Now, finally, the president has done that, but he's done it in essence with one arm behind his back, saying, yes, go home, but you have every right to be aggrieved because the election was stolen from us. And he's repeated that again just in the last few minutes. So it remains to be seen if these supporters of the president will be dissuaded in any way with that sort of mixed message coming from the president. We have a number of reporters who are following these fast-moving developments. Lisa Desjardins has been in the Capitol. Alma Navaz has been on the Capitol grounds. I've been joined by Yamiche Alcindor at the White House. These are some.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that down. What up, Fred?
What up, dude?
Yeah, dude, this is madness. Where you at, brother?
I'm actually in Western PA. No, Virginia. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm headed down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I'll be there probably tomorrow night. Man.
What's your opinion, brother?
Well, this is highly unfortunate. I'm not necessarily against the act of storming the Capitol. But not with these people. I mean, the why is all wrong.
Well, to me, you cannot storm the Capitol and break laws. That's not a protest. That's an insurgence. You can't. I had the same critique of any protest of Black Lives Matter, anything else you want to call it. But protesting is protesting.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a protest. That's violence. You know, you can't. I don't condone that of any sort.
Yeah. So for me, obviously, you know, my take is different than most people. I mean, they don't call me Fred the Felon for nothing, right? So like, for example, slavery was the law. So, I mean, for me, right, these people are 100% wrong. Don't get me started on that. They're 100% wrong, right? And you know, like you were saying, you know, our hearts go out to the people that have been injured or shot or anything like that, or people that have been intimidated. What really bothers me is that our leaders are going to get the wrong message. They're going to get the message that you know, Republicans or Trump supporters or conservatives bad is the message that they're going to get, right? And the message that they should be getting is that, and Andrew talked about it, we like Trump is a symptom of a disease that's been brewing for 30 years.
Yeah, we've been down that road. Yeah.
Well, we've been down that road, but that's not the road that's going to be that narrative's not going to be pushed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if this was like a militia of the middle of everyday common citizens that were realizing that their senators and Congress people aren't working in their own best interest and aren't doing what they are paid to do, that would be one thing. But what we're having here is we're having people denying the truth. I mean, even like, you know, like he's just going in there and doing what the law says do, and he's getting attacked by his own president as a VP.
Right.
I don't know if you saw that on Twitter, but
yeah, he's talking shit, man. He's crazy. I'm anti, like, I support the idea of overthrowing our government from within. Like, to me,
if that was a viable solution, don't you think it would have been done by now?
Well, the problem is people resort to emotional reactions, right? Our first reaction is a visceral one. It's an endorphin rush. You're angry. It's an emotional reaction. If people could take that emotional anger and energy and focus it and actually go to the streets like they should and fucking petition to recall Mitch McConnell, to recall Nancy Pelosi, that's what you fucking do. You recall me, take their fucking job. The Constitution is a great document. The checks and balances is it's a good system. And the whole point of the Constitution is to amend it. It's supposed to be a living, breathing document. We are ready for a revolution, but it can't be fucking violence. That's just dumb. We're better than that, I would like to think. So to me, get a fucking clipboard and get people out of fucking office. You can't go storm their office and take selfies at their fucking desk. It's just dumb.
So the sad news, is that revolution doesn't happen without pain and suffering. That's the sad news. Nobody, I know this from my bouts with drug addiction and being 14 and a half years clean, right? Mm-hmm. And pulling other people out of addiction, pulling felons from, an unbelievably grave situation to a situation of prominence. Mm-hmm. That when pain and suffering comes, that's when real solutions come. Things just don't magically appear because there was no pain, right?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Give me an instance where it did.
Okay, I agree with you to a point. Gandhi did it the right way. There's pain and suffering for the protesters. They took beating.
What are you talking about?
Gandhi.
All he went through is pain and suffering.
I know. I'm saying it's the right. You can't inflict pain and suffering, but people do suffer.
If starving Americans with food lines that were 4 miles long isn't a picture of what Gandhi did, like, what is? Boys?
It is in a way, though. What I'm saying is,
I'm just pushing back because
I agree. I like it.
I'm just pushing back because we had somebody that had the national limelight, and he had reasonable solutions, and every which way he turned, whether it was the media, of senators, Congress people, he was totally shunned.
Okay, but here's the thing. I want to also change happens. The faster change happens, the more painful it is. Right? Like if I want someone to stop stepping on my toes, I can say nicely a couple times, a few times, and eventually you got to push them off. You got to start leaning off, or I punch them. Right? So fast change increases the likelihood of suffering to an extent. Now, Gandhi didn't do this protest. It didn't take overnight, man. It took him a year or two to get, and he got the government of England to leave his fucking country. You know, so he got one of the biggest changes ever with peaceful protests, right? He did a general strike, right? That's a peaceful protest. That's what we need to do as a country, which we have. It's very hard to do right now, honestly, with mindset of scarcity. People aren't going to show up for work. But I mean, like, if there's a fundamental way of doing it that draws the right type of attention and gets the public opinion on your side, is you can't get people's sympathy, if you will, or empathy to go up and say, I want you guys to stand with us after I beat the shit out of these people. No, people will sympathize with the one that's injured, the one that's having the pain inflicted on them. So if there's going to be pain, you have to accept the pain for yourself. You can't push it out on other people, right?
So in this instance with Donald Trump, obviously we have bad leadership, right? And he's not even going to call in the National Guard to stop this. And it's a situation where I'll say this: the world would be a better place without a Donald Trump in it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to elaborate on that, right? I'm not going to elaborate on that any further than that.
Please
but
don't.
The world would be a better place without a Donald Trump in it. What Donald Trump is doing is like, if I was Joe Biden, I would have him tried for treason.
Yeah,
I would find a way to try him for.
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. What you do
to
me, that's a tough one.
Why is it a tough one?
I don't know. Treason's a very specific thing in America, in the Constitution here. It's very specific. It's very hard to try someone for treason here.
Treason is treason is you gave secrets to another country. Correct?
That's a form of treason. I think, let me look that. I think the definition of treason is like if you have intentionally put your country at harm by trying to think. Same thing that happened with Snowden. They're trying to bring him up on treason charges for hacking, you know. Hold on a second. I'm trying to look that up.
I think what he is doing is treason.
I agree, but it's hard to prove it directly in court to try him for treason, right? We all can call it treason. It's a very loose term, but proving it in court is a whole that we could just call him a treasonous traitor. But it's a very tough, specific law.
Dude, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious we need the National Guard called in.
Well, they've been called in. They're just dragging their fucking feet.
That's pretty messed up, in my opinion.
They should have been there
much faster.
Yeah, they should have been there already. If it was anybody else, they'd have been there. You know, we all know this is obvious. He obviously put everyone in Congress that betrayed him, quote unquote, in danger. There's a bomb threat there. They jumped the barriers. They attacked they pushed past the police line. They broke windows to get in. They broke into offices. They broke into the damn Senate and sat on the damn chair where the vice president should be sitting over this committee. So, you know, it's really hard for people to try and say this is I don't know, it's madness.
The response is it's always out of proportion in one way or the other, isn't it? Like there's no middle ground with these people, and it always seems to lean in one direction as to, you know, who gets the harsher treatment.
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
But there's no middle ground. There's no like reasonable response in any of these situations. A reasonable response to this would be reining them in as quickly as possible with impunity. They just breached federal land. That's a felony.
Yeah, you just arrest them for B&E, whatever charge it is. I'm not a cop. I don't know enough about the law, but you break the law. They're there to peacefully you're there to protest all goddamn day. I don't care. But as soon as you start breaking shit to get into the building, shut it down, and you expand the perimeter. The problem was there wasn't enough policemen there. There's only like 1,000 in D.C., right? And they were in a couple different places, the White House and the Capitol Hill. And so that's what I'm saying. It's hard to charge Trump with treason because he's not the one actually storming the castle, if you will. Now, individuals, that's much easier to charge because there's physical evidence, right? But Trump is indirectly the leader of this stupid ass movement. So it's harder. That's what he does. That's why I'm not saying he's smart, but it's a pretty smart move. He always surrounds himself with fucking the dirtiest people because the shit rolls off on them. He wears other people like a coat, like a garment. And when it gets dirty, he discards it and says, I don't know what you're talking. I never owned that coat. Everyone around him worked for him, went to fucking prison. And now they're out because he got them out. But that's beside the point. Point. He's like a Teflon man, like a gang.
I feel like this is a preview of coming attractions. This is a preview of coming attractions. Trump or Trump's son will be back in 2024, and you will see the same similar situation. You will also see the fact that we actually won Georgia works well for Democrats, but it's a catch-22 because if Democrats don't get what American people want done for them, then things are going to swing back to the hard right again.
Or the hard middle.
Yeah, they need to aggressively attack the problems in America, or they're going to just watch the problems continue to multiply. And we'll get a smarter version of Trump next time, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and AP just called it for Ossoff.
Which is amazing, and thank you.
It's over.
Thank you.
So now the Democrats I want them to win because I don't want the Democrats to have a single excuse. You said
I want to empower the few humanity forward and, the Democrats, we got in. There's a reason we got them in, right? We want them to act on our behalf. They can have whatever influence they can have on Congress. They're there speaking on our behalf. The ones we got in. So that's important too, I think.
Yeah, no more excuses, man. We've put in the legwork all over this country. And who showed up in Georgia? Stacey Abrams. If we can ever hug someone again, I would like to give her a hug. Because think about what she went through.
I would too.
She got
three years of pounding the ground.
That's right. She lost an election. And I'm not going to go down the whole path of them shutting down election booths because the governor was also the Secretary of State at the same time, which he kind of set the deck for himself, But either way, she lost an election and she didn't go crying about it for very long. She didn't make too big of a fuss. She says, you know what? I'm going to make sure damn well you don't motherfucking get again. And her organization registered 800,000 voters in Georgia. That is a fucking lot. And so the country owes her, like the country owes her because she did the groundwork 3 years in advance, like you said, Fred.
I agree.
And Andrew Yang came in cool, but and then good candidates like Ossoff he's a decent candidate. He's like a Pete Buttigieg type, standard issue. And then Reverend Warnock is another one of those political type of I'm going to say like a cultural leader in Georgia, being the pastor of the Ebenezer Church where MLK went, and he was also the pastor for John Lewis, who they're replacing. So it's interesting, nonetheless. And it's just
I think honestly, honestly, I think that she deserves all the credit in the world. I will tell you this much: I was really disappointed by Donna Imam, who tweeted out that Bernie Sanders single-handedly handed Georgia the election because he
made a big deal
rose up stuff.
That is kind of
Because he
insulting.
made a big deal about the military. He's like, "Oh, you don't want to block this? I'm going to block, or you want to block the $2,000? I'm going to block the military spending bill."
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he did do that in the Senate and Senate only, though. It wasn't a slight to anybody else. She's saying he single-handedly did it in the Senate. I don't take as much offense to that.
No. She said you'd have to see the tweet. She single-handedly he single-handedly handed the
Georgia election because he demanded the $2,000. Yes.
Yeah, I disagree. I can't believe she said that.
No, he did in the Senate. In the Senate, he single-handedly did it himself, and people followed his lead. He got the Republican to jump on board with him, and he got others to double down and say, we're not going home until New Year's. I don't care. So he did do that. She didn't say for the entire movement. She said he single-handedly led the movement in the Senate, which I
said for the Georgia election.
Yeah. That's a huge talking point for Georgia elections, because that's exactly what Warnock did. His whole ad was said, you should have had $2,000 a month, vote for Warnock, period. He delivered a great talking point. He made it $2,000, not $1,200 or $1,000, or be satisfied with $600. I agree with her on that, but I also think that
you think that Bernie Sanders single-handedly handed Georgia the
no. He only did it in the Senate. I think that he single-handedly led the charge in the Senate only. That's what I mean. There's people on the ground like Stacey Abrams that did the work for. To say single-handedly, I'd say that's more Stacey Abrams territory, because she laid the foundation.
Exactly. I just thought it was really disappointing for Donna to say that. Donna Imam from Texas, from another southern state, to say that after Yang Gang filled up her coffers. That didn't live in Texas, and not give any credit to Abrams. I mean, Abrams. And I was totally okay with not arguing over the credit at all, right? Until she went and said that's stupid. Dude, she got wrecked. She got wrecked for saying that.
But I agree with her a little bit that he did that in the Senate. He was the leader in the Senate.
You'd have to bring up the tweet. I
definitely read it. I know. I commented too. But we all know what happened on the ground. We have people like Tully who started an organization and went down there and delivered in the south part of Georgia.
30,000 doors.
That's right. 30,000 goddamn doors. You got the Georgia Yang Gang that killed it. You have the Humanity Forward Georgia Network that killed it. And they all work together with Stacey Abrams' network of people, which is genius. We're not there to change minds. We're there to help you take back your community. I should have been there. I should have been there today. I had time off work and everything, but I'm disappointed. But COVID is COVID. I got my vaccine today, or yesterday, I mean. But yeah, we're there's a lot of things to go around.
Any side effects, boys?
Nothing. Sore shoulder. That's it.
Sore shoulder. That's it. All right. I feel good.
Yeah, good point, Vaughn. The math mansions. That's right, man. Tully, I'm going to talk to him soon, man. That kid stepped up. Me and him have had some disagreements in the past, but damn it, he came through, and we're working well together. And I'm happy to help him and his movement. His math movement thing is a good proof of concept just happened in Georgia for him. So I think this is going to be great inertia heading into the midterms in 2022.
I would love for you to elaborate on that. Would you mind?
You know, mass movement is legit, man. We're both on the board, for God's sake.
Yeah. What'd you saying, Mia?
I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more on that and give me some of the backstory to it, because I'm not aware of like all that you're talking about.
Oh, me and Tully?
Yeah, and just in general, what he did in Georgia.
No, okay, so the backstory is me and Tully had some disagreements, and we kind of parted ways a little bit, and we're on radio silence for a while. And then we made amends. I was like, hey man, I forget. I don't take things personally, man. We don't have to agree. It's cool. We made up. Just let's work together. And so when he reached out to us, me specifically, he called me up and we did a little video like this together, just in a live stream. It wasn't a live stream, but just a video conference, a Zoom call. And he asked me if I'd be a part of his board to help hold him accountable to do his job as the leader of a nonprofit. And I said, I'll do anything to help the movement. And he said, thank you. And, and then Fred was another one there. We got a pretty good, decent people on that board. And so what Tully's done is went and got donations to pay for these math mansions in Georgia. So in Georgia, they had 3 math mansions. One was in Columbus, Georgia. One was in Savannah. And one was in, I think, Macon, Georgia. I could be wrong on that one. But it was just 3 houses that were paid for 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks.
And so the goal was to get people to come to the house, and I think you had to knock like 50 or 75 doors a day. That was like
the goal,
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You talk to 50 people a day or 75 a day.
Yep. So, job well done.
Job well done. Yes.
Well, here's the beautiful strategy. They weren't there to change their mind. They're trying to get other Georgians in their neighborhood to canvass with them. We provide the materials. We'll give you all the materials. Here's a pledge card. Here's how you register to vote. You need transportation. Here's who to call. We'll come get you. But they got these people in their own neighborhoods that help them come canvass and activate the local people. And that's a genius strategy.
Yeah, when you
that lady,
they can really.
She goes by Afro Sabi.
Yes.
She's a Warren supporter. She was actually saying like, hey,
I know
the Yang
her.
Gang.
Yeah.
The Yang
I
Gang
talked
is
to her a
legit.
lot during the campaign. Oh, she did a lot of door knocking for Warren.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing. I love her. Oh.
Yeah, she was complimenting Tully and the Yang Gang for doing what they're doing, man.
That's awesome. Oh, it's good to see us all
Honestly, I can't believe Donald. Well, I can believe Donald Trump is doing this, but this is, dude. I was looking at the stock market, right? So I'm in a stock market group. Literally, when they stormed the castle, like literally like $1,000 gone, right, in my portfolio, right? A bunch of people are like, dude, I woke up, took a nap, my portfolio is smashed. I was like, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I try to tell people, Trump's good for the market only if you catch it when it keeps bottoming the fuck out. This is not a good market. This is only a good market for people that are the most savvy and have the most money. We need a good market. A good market is just steady growth.
And it's completely meaningless to people who can't get into the market in the first place, too.
Yeah.
So there's a whole section of society that has nothing to do with it, that is benefiting nothing from it.
Just totally despicable.
Yeah, it sucks. I can't get into it. If I get $2,000, I will.
What? So, like, what's the cleanup crew look like? Like, how does this get resolved? What's the resolution?
Oh, of this whole thing right now?
Yeah.
Hold people accountable. You got to have an investigation. Who broke into the buildings? Who broke the actual laws and weren't there just protesting? You can stand by while someone breaks shit. You're not doing it right. But whoever did that shit's got to be held up in the court of law. There's a guy sitting like this on the let me see if I can find that shit. That dude, he's fucked.
I saw a guy just peeling back fence like it was an orange peel.
Yeah. Yeah, let me try and find this guy, man. It's a great picture, honestly, but
Uh-oh, we lost him.
You lost Fred? Oh, yep. He's traveling. I'm trying. Oh, shit. Nope. Wrong button. Sorry, guys. Trying to find this image. Let me see if I can find this image, man. It's hilarious, but it's fucked up. Let me go to. I gotta look at the right timing of it. Time past 24 hours. Let's see if it brings it up. Damn it, I can't find it. There's a crazy image though. I ain't gonna lie. Oh well, I can't find it. If somebody else can find it, let me know. Send me a link, man. That's good shit. But yeah, we've got a situation. I was at work, unfortunately, and I don't think. Let me check and see if anything else is happening. Because I think it's all kind of quieted down because Trump made a tweet. Now all his little fucking minions. Okay, I'll go home. Fucking moron.
Did they really just like file out now? That'd be great.
That's what I'm trying to see if they trickle. They said it was trickling down. Whew. Let me see here. Let's see if they're showing anything. See, let's see what PBS is saying. Let's jump over here. I can't find the goofball. Let's go back to YouTube.
Pictures. I don't know whether they are live or earlier today of downtown D.C. live pictures. And I've also been joined by longtime Capitol Hill individuals who worked as staff at the Capitol. And also joining me now is Kathleen Ballou. She is a professor at the University of Chicago, a
There's
scholar
still quite a few there.
who studies extremist groups. Professor Ballou, if you're there and if you can hear me, I think a definition is helpful at this point, because these people who've shown up supporting President Trump, we don't know whether they came from some organized group or whether they just spontaneously left their hometown and made their way.
First of all, I'm going to say I love her dress. That neckline is pretty sweet. I'm just going to say that.
That is really cool. I do like that a lot.
That is sharp.
Perpetrated. What is your understanding of who they are?
You know, I think we're going to learn much more about who they are in the days and weeks to come. And I think that's a question that we will want to pay very close attention to as this story unfolds. What I would anticipate based on the recent history of this kind of activism in our country is that what we're looking at is sort of an amalgam of people who are motivated by conspiracy theorists that they've encountered on social media and elsewhere, people who subscribe to QAnon, to election conspiracy theory.
Wait a minute, let me refresh this. I don't think this is
sort of
updated.
run-of-the-mill.
I got to update this. I don't think this was live.
I don't know. Still pretty.
Yeah, I don't think it.
But
Well, it was my phone showed a different person talking to this guy. There he is.
To do that.
This is live.
That's not the way the Constitution was set up. That's not what's supposed to be done. I mean, we're a country that, based on the rule of law. And so that was what the whole objection process was about. There were a lot of folks who, on the Republican side as well, who some were objecting and some weren't, because this is a very serious discussion. We don't want Congress picking the president. That's not appropriate at all. We don't want judges picking the president. The judicial branch is not supposed to do that. And so this was a process. We should have been able to go through that process peacefully, because that's what we've done for the last 240 years in our country is have peaceful protests and peaceful transition of government.
But President Trump is the one, Congressman Estes, who urged his supporters to come to Washington. He urged them not to allow this process to go forward. He's the one who is saying that this process should be stopped, that it should not go forward, that his votes, that the electoral vote count should stop, that it should go back to the states, period, and the election should be overturned. Are you supporting him in that belief?
So there have been several protests since the election. I expected this protest to be like that, to be peaceful in terms of that process. I was somewhat surprised today that it did turn violent because that hadn't been the aspect of what had happened in any of the previous ones. I do understand frustration on people's parts, but it's not appropriate for individuals. I don't condone violence that they've done, and don't support them at all in terms of storming our Capitol and trying to disrupt the process that's set up in the laws of our country and that we should follow.
What responsibility do you think President Trump has?
Let me interrupt this. That's like, whoopsie, that's way too close. I don't like that. That's like saying that it's not the college's fault they chose a school mascot was a baboon viper. You know, it wasn't, we didn't think the viper would bite anybody, but it's our mascot. Like, it's fucking dumb, man. Don't pick a viper as a mascot. And Trump cult has chose these MAGA idiots to be their mascots, you know?
It's pretty insane. I'm very confused by how they can look at what he's saying and not connect the dots. You know, I know it's willful ignorance, right? Like it's cognitive dissonance, but it's so in your face. I don't see how people can't see the mistake that they're making while they're making it. It's baffling and sad. I'm sorry. This overwhelms me with like, just why?
Yeah, fuck all that. Okay, we got Vaughn here saying he would like to compliment the organizers and the leaders of the MAGA folks for getting this done. Dude, I don't like that shit. Me and you get along, but I don't like that shit. Fuck that, and fuck the Proud Boys too while we're at it. I have no positive spin on this. These motherfuckers wanted to start a war. Their whole point was to incite violence. Now, I'm not part of their movement, so I don't know what their true intentions are. But man, you gotta wonder what the hell were they thinking. What's your ultimate goal? Like the Black Lives Matter protest was to bring a voice to the people that are being shot and killed and jailed for petty crimes at a higher rate than anybody else because of the color of their skin. That's the point. Defund the police. Let's reorganize the police. There's goals. What was the goal of this thing today? Vaughn, specifically, if you'd like to jump in here, dude, I'd love to hear from you. But what's their goal? Let's think about that. What could it be? It was a shit show. It's negative press and it's not good press. And I hope this seals the fate for any future fucking idiot Trump turd that might gargle back up the pipes in D.C.
I think the goal was terrorism, like disruption and fear.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like in that case, they got what they wanted, but I don't think it's going to work the way they think it is. They do see themselves as the heroes, but the goal is disruption and fear. They know they aren't going to get their way from this. Proceedings are still going to happen.
So Vaughn, getting attention. They've gotten plenty of attention for 4 fucking years. They've gotten all the attention they need. This is not about attention. This is a recruiting tool to the alt-right. This is a recruiting tool for the Proud Boys, a recruiting tool for the 3%ers. They're bullshit. Fucking idiots. So it can't be attention because they got attention. They've got plenty of it. Fred's trying to come back. There he is. So it can't be about attention. This is about a state. This is a statement. This is I think they're trying to build a movement, you know, a bigger movement and incorporate more division. What's the goal of storming the Capitol and getting someone shot over it? I really hope that lady don't die. Because if there is an organizer to this thing, like a unifier leader.
Yeah, the organizer is the 45th president of the United States.
In a way, yes.
Is there any?
In a way, yeah. Indirectly.
I mean, he went on the freaking debate stage and said, "Oh, stand by," right?
Yeah, for sure. Fred, 100%. Leadership matters.
I'm just more wondering if there's like a Facebook group that set up an event or something that is going to take credit for it eventually.
There's 4chan, 12chan, 45, 60chan bullshit. Little meme groups. Who knows, man?
Wherever they ended up getting together and to do this from.
They learned a lesson in Michigan. Let me tell you. They're like, uh-oh. Don't put it across Facebook. They're going to storm our castles and arrest us for even get to kidnap the princess, you know? So I think they learned from that. And then now they're like, okay, we're not going to do it this way. We're going to find another way and keep it quieter. But you can't tell me the FBI didn't know this was coming, or the CIA, or whoever's in charge of counterterrorism, you know?
I know. Yeah, of course. They
So,
know, I mean, Trump.
Mhm.
Like, who are you going to bring it to? Trump?
Yeah, exactly. Leadership again. There's a gap, and so
I can guarantee right now, like whoever is in charge of defense, there's probably somebody saying, "Okay, we've got to guard against a future president. Like, okay, what do we do when things break down and our president wants them to break down? Like, who takes over now?"
Oh yeah, well, when the house is on fire, does the guy who grabs a bag of marshmallows the one you call on? No, Trump's grabbing a fucking skewer and a marshmallow. You call the motherfucker with a bucket of water. And the water has got to be, the guy with the bucket of water has got to be in charge of the National Guard. The Washington D.C. mayor called for help. The police were overrun. And yeah, so we'll see how long they back the blue now. These motherfuckers are so full of shit.
Yeah.
Blue line my ass.
Man, the level of illegal this is, like, there's no like justifying or trying to pretend that what you're doing is in any way legal in this.
Yeah, to me, the people that are there to protest stayed back a little bit. You know what I mean? You can see the pictures. There's a mob up there that's like climbing the literal walls.
Like it's fucking the Empire State Building in their King Kong.
Yeah. But then there's the people that are there like, oh shit, I know it's gonna be like this. You know, they're kind of But the ones that kicked in doors and broke windows to sneak in, that's gotta go. Wait, what? Oh. Fred's struggling.
The challenges of talking while driving.
Yeah, man. Or just driving in a remote area of Virginia. So yeah, Vaughn says Trump is their great white hope. They are willing to sacrifice for him. Trump will always have power because of him. Or because of them, you mean, probably. Well, that's a problem. He's the great white hope. He's not the hope. He's the great white hope. Fuck all that shit. Last time the Capitol building was raided back in 1814 by the British. Yeah, no shit, buddy. I feel bad. Fred's let's see, and Lisa says wearing onesies and capes.
I saw that and I hoped you were going to read it.
What's that?
There are actual people there wearing onesies and capes.
Yeah,
like,
man.
they
Like
are,
stars
right?
and stripes and don't tread on me capes and shit. Yeah. Good compliment.
Patriotism con, huh?
Oh boy. I called it racist. I called it racist recess. That's my new favorite term. It wasn't necessarily there because of racism per se. It wasn't like this is a protest against minorities, but it's kind of a funny term. We need to bring them in. Russell is in. Even Fred is in. Imagine the organized MAGA with Andrew Yang as the Y. No. Nope. I don't want nothing to do with MAGA, dude. Fuck MAGA. That whole cult can go eat a bag of dicks as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Onesies and capes. So that's a great damn comment.
Onesies.
Yeah, dude. I want to absolutely nothing to do with the term MAGA attached to me or anything I'm part of. That shit is a mess. But yeah, actually, because Russell is supposed to be here in a little bit, and so is Crystal. We were supposed to be doing some recordings for the daily news tonight at 6 p.m. And I was going to edit that tonight and then put it out tomorrow, which I still might do. But for now, we're going to go live for a while and talk about it and see any kind of new developments. I'm going to go ahead and keep check. If you guys have any news, let me know and I'll bring it up. But I don't see much of nothing happening now. Oh, and also Ilhan Omar and Ayanna Press has already drawn up articles for impeachment.
Oh, on the Georgia call grounds or on something else?
No, on the Trump. They want to impeach Trump because of this action. I think it's a waste of time, but
well, I mean, he's going to be out in a few days, anyways.
It's a silly gesture. I understand it is the right thing to do, but I think it's a silly gesture personally. Oh man, Fred keeps fucking losing it. Let's see if anybody else. Oh God, Tim Pool. I can't stand that fucking hack. They're supposed to start the count soon, it sounds like. It looks like Brian Tyler Cohen is still live streaming, but I can't play it on here. Oh, yeah, that's right, Lisa. That's true. There's a curfew in 45 minutes. So shit's going to die down, and the ones that are left over are going to get their asses handed to them.
That's going to be
okay. Let's see if Fred's back in here.
Watch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm as a pacifist, I'm not sure if I can watch it, but also I'm not sure if I can't watch it. You know, like it's gonna have my eyes glued to it anyways, I think, regardless.
Yeah. So it looks like right now here's the thing I don't understand about YouTube. Brian Tyler Cohen is live streaming and he has up NBC News' live stream. If I put that shit up, community strike. I'm already on a 2-week ban on my own channel because of some bullshit. So I don't know if news just doesn't count. I wonder if news doesn't count.
I don't know.
Fuck it, let's try it. I don't got no strikes on here.
News counts.
Does it? Yeah, because that's private property, like their own.
I don't know. He might have a deal going with them.
Yeah, but I see a bunch of channels live streaming the news, man, like CNN, MSNBC. Dude, there's some crazy pictures, man. Whoa.
We can definitely do stills.
So let me try this. I'm gonna try and look it up and see if I can find this. MSNBC.
I think Matt is there too.
Zach and Matt?
Yeah, Zach and Matt. I think he's there.
He said no way in hell. It's way too dangerous.
No, we were just talking.
Oh yeah?
He's on his way. Yeah.
He lives down there. I know that.
He lives. Dude, Sue Bauman, she like her. She has a condo overlooking the Capitol.
Sue?
Like Sue Bauman.
Sue Bauman. Why do I know that name?
Asian woman. Sue. Sauvignon.
Yeah. Oh, that's Sue. Yeah. She lives downtown. Yeah. Oh yeah, guys. Also, I actually reached out to Richard Ojeda and invited him to jump in here and just vomit some facts on us. Yeah, Ojeda, man, he calls it out. He's like, "You bunch of fucking cowards." I love it.
Well, I will say one thing, right? To storm the Capitol, I wouldn't say you're a coward. I mean, if anything, you've got a set of stones on you.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
I know. For me, I think differently than most people. I don't think is a decision legal as much as is it moral, because we do things that are legal that are morally wrong, and we have done things that are legal that are reprehensible.
Well, we do illegal things that are moral as well. like steal food to eat. You know, like that's an illegal thing to do, but it is moral. That's kind of a slippery slope, but it is what it is. Let's see here. That's PBS.
I'm really interested in us rewriting all of our laws into simple terms from the top down, because they've gotten overly complicated. They've gotten amended so many times that the original intent in some of them is completely messed up. And I would like to rewrite laws so that the intent of the law was more important than the specifics of the law. So that way,
That's a good idea.
you wouldn't let a murderer off the hook because the evidence was tampered with, because the spirit of the law was to get a murderer off the streets. Maybe there'd be consequences for the person who tampered with evidence or whatever the case may be, but it wouldn't get the guy off the hook, right? So, like, because the intent of the law should be way more important than the letter of the law. If the intent
them
Whoops, sorry.
toward the Capitol, it was quite clear.
Oh, there. Sorry. The intent is the hardest thing to prove.
That's really where the justices come in.
Right. And that takes a long time.
Yeah, well, maybe it should take longer.
George says Rappaport has a good take on Twitter. Rappaport usually has hot takes on all kinds of shit. That dude was crazy. I love him. He goes, "Fuck you, Donald."
He's a Donald Trump.
He hates that son of a bitch. What's he say?
He's a Donald Trump hater.
He calls him Dick Stain Donald Trump. He's so funny though. I still love him as Remy in higher learning with Ice Cube and oh shoot, who's the other actors and actresses in there? Oh hell, I can't remember, but that's a great movie. If you haven't seen Higher Learning, that's a good movie. And Lisa, I don't think they have balls. They're just not very smart. Well, balls don't equal brains.
It's a double-edged sword there. I mean, it's a mix of both.
When your balls are your brains, it's going to be kind of hard to think.
But like, it's like saying someone that blew up the Twin Towers in an airplane that took balls. But okay, I'm not going to congratulate them for being willing to die for a cause. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree. However, I mean, even if you're wrong, it takes courage to do something. That is.
I would say
wrong.
more. I see a better word would be conviction, not courage. Conviction.
Okay, conviction.
Yeah,
See,
courage is a positive thing. Yeah.
The courage of your convictions.
It is courage, but I don't like to give any kind of positive spin to anything fucking negative like this. So I'd say the people in those towers had conviction in their beliefs, but I won't say they're courageous. I don't think they had balls, you know, or they pulled one. I want to congratulate the Al Qaeda for pulling off something. They're really well organized. I want to congratulate their organizers. Fuck all that shit. Sorry, Vaughn.
I totally understand. Yeah, I get that.
My hope was that was said with sarcasm. You know, it doesn't read well on the internet. Maybe he just meant like sarcastically.
No.
Okay.
No, I think it's just saying kudos. You pulled off one hell of a stunt. Like, you know, like a person jumping the fence at a football match and running across the field naked. Hey, good job. You pulled it off. But now you're going to jail for public nudity and stuff. But and Vaughn knows I love him, man. I ain't got no worries with Vaughn. I know Vaughn just speaking his mind. I don't got a problem with that. But I'm definitely going to push back when I don't agree. But yeah, I don't want to congratulate or any kind of positive spin on acts of terror on our own fucking soil. And let's not forget, we do it in other countries. So let's not act like we're high and mighty over here either. We drop bombs on fucking villages.
Well, that's again, that's why I go back to I'm less concerned with if something is legal, is it moral?
Right. Absolutely. I think we should redefine centrism and call it the moral center. And you can have left and right policies, but you still be morally centered. And I know everybody thinks they're morally centered because they think they're right. No, but I mean, like, I'm not saying 100%, but I'm saying 90% of people believe that they think that the things they support is moral. Be it MAGA or not, they're morally. Yeah. So 90% of the people are committed to something because they believe it's moral. But when I say moral center, I'm referring to human-centered capitalism. That is the moral center. To do what's
one
best.
of the things I like about
Go ahead, Fred.
Things I like about Andrew is get the human element out of the equation and realign the incentives to what is good for the collective. Because if you align the incentives with the individual
or the market,
whoever has the biggest market share gets the most say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I really hope that the people on the left who are calling for the electoral college be disbanded learned a lesson today too. There's a reason there's an electoral college, because of representation. I agree there are some tweaks that need to be done, but not disbanding the electoral college. There's a process that works, and there's a way to push back on it, and there's a legal way to do it, and there's a constitutionally.
There's a way that they're doing. I mean, they're doing it in Maine and Nebraska right now.
Right. Yep. Using their population to their what do you call that? Like awarding electorates according to population ratio.
Well, it's just this particular district. Like,
right,
one little district gets 1 point or 2 points or whatever.
But it's by population.
I mean,
so in Nebraska they had 3, in Maine they had 2. Now Texas would probably have like however many electoral colleges they have, 100 something, 133 or some shit like that. No, it can't be that much. It's shit. No, I'm thinking of 270 win.
Speaking of which, how many did they get through before this all started? I think they said they stopped at like Arkansas or something.
I don't know. They didn't get. Yeah, they only got to the first couple states, and people started, showing their ass because Mike Pence would not allow them to do it the way they want to do it. They're like, "Fuck this shit. That's our cue, boys." Mike Pence says that's not in accordance with the Constitution. Moving on. And that peacocking bullshit artist Ted Cruz needs to get punched in the dick. That guy stood there like a proud peacock when he says, "I contest it. I'm the senator that signed that paperwork." And he stood there and didn't move. He waited for them to start clapping for him for real. I don't know if you guys seen that. He stood up. "I did it." Because one of the electorates for Alabama, I think it was Alabama or Arizona. One of the electors for Arizona says, we want to contest this. And then the vice president goes, "Well, according to articles, you have to have that signed by a senator. Do you have it signed by?" He goes, "Yes, we do." And here comes old dipshit, Mr. Basketball wannabe. "I signed it, sir." And he stood there, puffed his little chest out, and they all started slowly clapping. Then they all started clapping. Then they had to go away for a while and talk about it.
Weirdest, most awkward slow clap in history, right?
You saw that, right?
I will have to see it.
I really think that there should be an amendment to the Constitution on that.
On contesting the electoral college?
Yeah, well, first of all, we should vote on the blockchain, right? So this is kind of a
blockchain,
kind of weird idea. This is kind of a weird idea that I have. Is you go to a restaurant and they give you a buzzer. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you broke up there. Go ahead. Now you're
okay.
Good.
So you know how you go to a restaurant and they hand you a buzzer, and then when your table's ready, your buzzer goes off, right? Mm-hmm. Well, there's got to be a technology where they just hand every American a freaking a unit of whatever, right? And
a cell phone?
a unit, and that unit is what you vote. and you vote from home in case there's a pandemic. You never have to worry about it. You check in through your iris. You check in through your iris or through your fingerprint, so biometric. And then what you do is you vote on the blockchain. And when you vote on the blockchain, it's sent out to the blockchain, and then every blockchain in the state realizes that that is your vote, and then it certifies your vote,
Right.
and then it sends that to the state, which then another blockchain is created, and that blockchain is created with the feds. That is just be that simple.
So you have like a single-use device that is like destroyed after the election, then, or
what's that?
A single-use device that's destroyed after the election, then you're talking about, or like?
No, it wouldn't be a single-use device. It would be a multi-use device for every election.
Or just an app on your phone that can be secured with blockchain.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you do an app on your phone, that's voter suppression because people in poverty may not have phones.
Well, they have the old phone.
Doesn't matter. They may not have. You have to create a separate unit created by the government that the government pays for to be able to get our elections squared off. This is a very simple solution. It's something I have in mind, and you know,
lots of people are looking at crypto or blockchain, but looks like George says, look, they're clearing everyone out. Tear gas. Let's see, shall we?
Oh my.
This should be fun.
My.
Let's see what this looks like. So we have, whoopsie, did that come up? It didn't come up. Add it. There you go. Let's see what they're saying. Because it gets dark early in DC.
Security bubble. I've been in the Capitol so many times, and when you enter that rotunda, you feel like the security guards are not going to let anyone in there that doesn't need to be there. And instead, what we saw was a complete breach of that. And I should say there were moments where we heard sirens, where we heard protesters outside the White House, but they didn't breach here. And some of that is because they're sympathetic to this White House. They like this White House. They're supporting this White House. As a result, we didn't see the same force that we saw at the Capitol.
Yamiche Alcindor at the White House for us today, and as you have been all day today. Thank you so much for your reporting. We'll check back with you later for sure.
Interesting.
I am joined now by the district attorney, the attorney general for the District of Columbia, Carl Racine. He's on the telephone talking with us today. Mr. Racine, are you there?
I'm here, William. Thank you very much.
Very good to have you on the NewsHour. Thank you for talking with us. I wonder if I could just initially get your reaction to what has unfolded here today.
Okay, well,
it's several fold, and I'll try to be as brief as I can.
That's not what we're looking for. I was looking for some action, but we don't. There's no. I don't see anything I can play without getting taken off the damn YouTube. Anyway, damn it.
You were looking for some tear gas action.
Yeah, I want to see what happens when the blue line tells the Cowboys and everybody to go home.
Do they have gas masks and stuff?
I'm sure they do. But I'm going to try and see if I can find it anywhere else. I just got to do it on my phone.
Basically the point where things either go batshit crazy or things calm down a lot.
Right. Let me see what this says here.
Somebody, by the way, asked why the protesters.
Nope. Oh well. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. We'll see. But not much happening now. So I'm probably gonna end this live stream for now. We gotta do some recording tonight for our news for tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be talking about this tomorrow on the YouTube channel. And if you guys want to hear more stuff like this, of course, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be putting out daily news. At first 2 days a week, and then 3, then 5 eventually. We're going to build ourselves up. Invite your friends, you know. But yeah, man, it was a little bit of action there. I was at work. I couldn't do anything about it. I was just listening to it while I was working and driving, and I was like, holy shit, it's going down. But by the time I got home, it kind of quieted down.
Yeah, I've been watching this all day unfold. It's very weird.
Fawn says, within a calendar year, we have polar opposite protesting. I wouldn't say that. I would not. Again, Vaughn, I think you're equivocating. Black Lives Matter is the opposite of MAGA. So do you think MAGA is for whites only? I doubt it. Because I know plenty of people.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not for blacks only.
No, I agree. I'm just trying to flush this idea out, right? So Black Lives Matter, again, their agenda was to bring justice and recognition for police brutality against minorities. What was the point of this? I don't know. Besides just like Vaughn thinks it was for attention, I think it was it's a recruiting tool to say, look what we're capable of. If we had more people, we could overthrow the government next time if we want to or something, you know? So I'm just not sure what their agenda is. I think it's a recruiting tool, kind of like skinheads do. They use anything where a white person gets killed by an immigrant coming across the border. So you got to shut down the border. And they use that a way to rally around white pride or white nationalism or the alt-right or what are these good old boys on the border that are shooting people. They're murdering people coming across, like they're the border patrol. They're not. You know, I agree we need to have a secure border, a safe and secure border, not individuals driving around on pickup trucks shooting people like they're fucking literal coyotes. Yeah. Oh, George says Facebook watch. What's this? I can't copy and paste that in here though. Live stream from DC. Facebook. I wish I could. Let me see. Can I copy that? No, I can't copy it. Let's go to Facebook. That might be easier to watch instead of YouTube. Good point. Let me see. Oh, and also, Dr. Dre went to the hospital last night with a brain aneurysm. I hope he's doing better by now.
Yeah, no.
I'm a big fan.
I have to pop out for just a few. And if you guys are still going, I might join in again later. But thank you for having me.
Yep. So, guys, I'm going to have to jump off here, too. I got to get ready for the recording here in a little bit. We will be putting out some news about this tomorrow. We'll record it tonight with live feeds from across the country. Cool. I'll check that out, man. Yeah, Twitch. I'm not a Twitch guy personally, but we'll get there. And this stream is for shit, man. It keeps lagging. I think the internet's slow right now because everybody's on it, you know. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and check out. We'll see you guys tomorrow with some news. We'll cover this tonight, man. Thanks for joining me, Mia and Fred. Drive safe, brother. Uh-oh, it's Fred frozen. I think Fred's froze. Well, thank you, Fred. Anyway, we can talk anytime. Oh, he's starting to unfreeze. Okay. Thanks for joining me, Fred. Drive safe, brother. All right, cool, guys. Yang gang, we're out.